Well, I took an X-Acto knife and cut down each side of this and lifted it up. There's my aileron wire, and I will put my servo in here and put the wire in the channel it's supposed to be in, and then glue it back down again, hopefully for good. This comes with the flaps cut, but not completely. As you can see, it does have roller hinges on it. Not just cloth, but actual roller hinges. There's the place where I'll have to glue the horn in. And then there's a place on the fuselage side here where you have to cut also. So you can see on top, on top, there's the roller hinges. And there's just a thin piece of foam there that you have to cut with an X-Acto knife, which I have done on this other one. So now this other one is completely free and clear, really well hinged. Now I don't do great work because it kind of cut into the side right here a little bit. Wasn't exactly straight when I cut that place loose. But that's one of my challenges in life. I'm just not that artsy. There you go, coming along. Okay, I took a little extra receiver I had, an actual Futaba one, and just put a little battery pack on it to supply power. Get up here. Just put a little receiver battery pack on it. This is the way we used to fly everything before autopilots and stuff. We just had a little battery in the airplane to power the receiver, and then the servos were powered off of that. Now there's so much else added, it isn't even funny. So from that I went out to the servo reverser. The servo reverser has a little trim pot in the end of it to trim out the servos so they work in the correct direction and have about the same travel. And then I've just got the two little servos, you can see, stuck in where they're supposed to be right now for making sure my setup's correct. And I've assigned a switch on my radio for flaps. So this would be no flaps. Get that antenna out of the way. This would be no flaps, 20% flaps or half flaps, and then full flaps, and then back. And as you can see, the other side responds the same way. So I have to glue the horn on to connect to the flap, cut that other flap on the left side there loose, and get it all back together. So it's coming along. And there's the other flap cut loose. Completely hinged now. No resistance whatsoever. Again, cutting straight lines and stuff is just not my forte. Look at that. I am just not good at some things. Could be because I, from the start, don't feel like I'm good at some things, but oh well. Functional. Might not be pretty, but it is functional. Okay, well, there you go. It's set up loosely. It will get its fine-tuning after everything's glued up. So the ailerons work. And then the flaps work. Now, the control horns aren't glued in yet. Once they're glued in, then there'll be fine adjustments on the length of this control rod, possibly the position that control horn fits on the servo to get the edge of the wing to line up perfectly with no flaps applied. You can see this side over here is just a little off right now. On the aileron side, yeah, both sides. So this one over here will need to be shortened a bit so it looks more like that. Maybe even more like that. But that's because this control horn right here isn't glued in and it's slopping around. There's another nylon piece goes on the top, and then you cut off that excess nylon there. That's it. It's all dry fitted together without any glue, and works fine. So gotta let my glue, I keep it in the refrigerator, gotta let it warm up overnight. Tomorrow I'll glue the control horns on, glue the servos in, put the wires down the little slot. That's about all that's left. Some fine adjustment after that. Okay, I glued on the control horns for the flaps. Simple. So that'll need to sit there and dry. I'll let it dry overnight. Then I'll place the servos, fine adjust the linkages, glue the servos in. Okay, I guess that finishes that. It's all glued back together, put back together. I'm basically finished. Ailerons still work. Aileron's right. That means the left one goes down. Right one comes up to bank it to the right. Aileron's left, which means the left one comes up to push that wing down, and the right one goes down to push that wing up. Elevator up. Elevator down. Rudder right. Rudder left. Throttle. And of course now half flaps, full flaps. Or flaps, more flaps. I don't think there's any kind of degree gauge on these flaps. All right, so that finishes that project.